Hi, Instagram.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, you're live. Hi,
Start.
YouTube.
Hello.
Instagram's getting up and running, so we'll be with you shortly.
There we go.
How
Good
is everyone
morning.
doing this fine Wednesday morning?
You don't
Happy
need to
hump day.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Is that commercial even running anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so, but
With
it
the
will
camel?
forever be in my heart.
Yeah.
Happy
It'll
hump
forever
day.
be in my heart. That's so funny.
For those that are new to
Happy
us
Wednesday.
right now, we are Christina.
Oh, hello.
And Matthew.
Nice to
We're
meet
doing
you.
the nursing school show. We are answering your guys' nursing school related questions.
Yes.
So,
and actually, we're going to start with Med-surg because I got a bunch of questions about
Med-surg. We're starting with Med-surg. I will type that down. We're starting with Med-surg.
Actually, we'll talk about like Med-surg and fundamentals as well because a lot of it, okay, you guys, a lot of it is so similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's like actually way more similar than you probably think it is.
Okay, so let's see. My phone just buzzed letting me know that I am live. So that was the kind of the delay there. So for those just joining us, welcome.
Hello.
YouTube, Instagram. We're doing our nursing school show. We are answering your guys' nursing school related questions. So join us. Pop some comments down in the chat below.
Mm-hmm.
What are your questions about nursing school? Christina is the nurse. I am not the nurse, but I am here for comedic value. So
yep, he's
let us
good
know.
at it.
Let us know what your questions are. We will get to them. We are starting off with Med-surg this morning.
Yes.
So Christina will be jamming on Med-surg. Also, while you're in the comments, be sure to let us know where you're from. Where are you joining us from?
You guys have some really fantastic questions.
Oh, great. Okay, so some fantastic questions.
Can I write some of these down? Or are you going to write some of these down?
Okay.
Yeah.
You write them down, or you tell me.
Tips for clinical.
Tips for clinical.
Oh, we have a few of those. Okay, we'll talk about clinical. Paola, hello, good morning. Treval, antenatal care. That's okay. We're gonna talk about that probably as it relates to Med-surg. Coaching. Yeah, we have coaching inside our Nursing SS membership community. Mm-hmm. Did you get my email 2 days ago, members? So much is changing. How much do you study? That is a fabulous question. Let's talk about it. I'm starting clinicals tomorrow. Any tips?
While Christina is jamming on the Instagram question, be sure to let me know. But on YouTube, if you guys have any questions too, let us know. We'll try and get to them. Zia Yar. Sorry, I'm not really good with names, but congrats and welcome. Let's see, your nursing is in Iraq. Awesome.
Hello,
very cool.
California.
Lizzie, hello. Last semester. Congratulations, Chicago.
In India, Iran. Couple California, India. Wow, hello.
And those that don't know, we have moved our nursing school show to this morning, Monday and Wednesday mornings. We used to meet in the evenings once a week, but we are joining you twice a week now in the mornings.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us. Let us know if you like it, and like it by liking it.
Where do I find the will to live? That is Jesus, my friend. That is the answer to that. Never will let you down.
Very true.
Let's see.
Any other questions? We got Med-surg. We're going to jam on Med-surg first in just a little bit.
Asked about antenatal care quite a few times. So anyway, antenatal care, from my understanding, usually it's like called prenatal care, which is like when the baby is in, not
antenatal, anti,
like
not
with an
anti.
E, not an I. Can someone double check me on that though?
Okay, so like pre.
Yeah, like pre. I read fabulous questions. You guys have so many great questions. Okay, Matthew, write this one down too. I read something that I forget after a few days. Let's talk about that. Yes. I think we have someone asked about preeclampsia on Monday. I think we have a whole video on YouTube on hypertension, so that's the one you're going to want to check. And then, of course, in our membership community, we have all of the OB
ZR, I want to become a very smart and skilled nurse, and I love my patients very much. Yes, that is what we are here
fabulous.
For. Hang on to that why. We were talking about that on Monday, is hang on to your why. Use that as motivation to get you through nursing school. Nursing school is tough, can be tough, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a sludge, or it doesn't have to be dreary. You don't
I like the word sludge.
It doesn't have to take over your life. Just hang on to that why, that you want to be the best nurse possible, that you love your patients and you want to care for your patients, and that'll help you through, and help you stay positive throughout nursing school, which is always a really good thing. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that, for sure. Emily, hi from Louisiana.
Hi, Emily.
All right.
First thing, okay, and then we're getting a lot of questions about NCLEX.
All right. Yep. So let's jam on Med-surg right
first,
now.
Because we have
so if you have any questions about Med-surg, you might want to stick around.
Yep.
So just saying.
So I posted about this on Instagram a couple of days ago. It's really, really important that you guys understand that when you are in Med-surg, when you're in fundamentals, or, well, basically any nursing school class, right, that you do not read everything in the textbook. And here's why I say that. When you spend all of your time reading the textbook, just for the sake of reading the textbook, you are not going to be able to have time to actually retain the information and be able to apply it to your exam. Someone asked, how do I remember information, right? Someone asked, I read and then I forget.
And then I forget after a few days. So I think the question related to that is how to retain information.
Yes, and that is so, so crucial, right? So when you're studying anything in nursing school, that is really what we're going for. You can't just read a textbook and then forget it 2 seconds later. That's not going to help you on your exam, right? So when you are studying, we have to be very strategic about how we study. It's very important that you don't just read the textbook or watch random YouTube videos or study things just for the sake of studying them, because that's not going to help you pass your exams. You have to move away from memorization and just like reading things or watching random YouTube videos to actually applying what you know to your exam. You have to apply that information that you're learning to SATA questions, right? Those select all that apply questions that your exams are going to be filled with, and case scenario questions, and case study questions, right? Patient situations and priority questions, right? Your exams are going to be filled with all of that stuff, where they give you a patient situation and you have to choose from a list of things that you would do as a nurse, right? These are priority actions. These are like, what would you do? So you have to apply what you know to that specific patient situation. You guys see what I'm saying? So that is very, very important. It's key for you to remember that you cannot just read the textbook just for the sake of reading the textbook or watch some random YouTube video just because. Like, you have to actually take that leap. You have to make that leap from just understanding information to then applying it. And so when you're studying Med-surg or fluids and electrolytes or any disorder in nursing school, we have some people on who are in OB. We've gotten OB questions, pediatrics, mental health, any disorder that you are studying in nursing school, whether it be gestational diabetes, someone said earlier, preeclampsia, hypertension, stroke, anything in fluid and electrolytes, hyperkalemia, hyponatremia, any disorder that you are studying in nursing school, there's 4 things that you need to focus on, okay? Pathophysiology, signs and symptoms, nursing assessment, and nursing interventions. Those are the 4 key things. And you guys, here's why I say that. When you are, taking your nursing school exam, they're going to throw all the critical thinking questions at you. They're going to throw those SATA questions at you and ask you to pick from a select all that apply list for what signs and symptoms might you see with this patient. So they'll give you a case scenario, and then they'll give you a list of signs and symptoms that you might see with this patient. You will have to choose from that list. And if you just memorized a list of signs and symptoms for a particular disorder, here's what might happen. You might get to that test question, and then they'll have other signs and symptoms that are correct, but you didn't memorize them. That happens all the time. So this is why we have to focus on critically thinking, okay? And this is why knowing the pathophysiology first is the most crucial thing that you can do in nursing school. So when you are studying any disorder, know and understand the patho first. And then when you get to those exam questions, you are going to be able to critically think through those test questions because you already know the pathophysiology. You already know what's going on with that disorder so that you can apply it to the test questions. Does that make sense? Is everyone tracking with me thus far? Like, it is so crucial that you know the patho and everything behind what you're studying so that you can apply it and critically think about it on your exams. It's everything.
So we said someone asked, I read and then I forget after a few days. How do I retain information is kind of that point. So I want to circle back around on that. And that's related to someone just asked on Instagram, how do I know what information is important and what is unnecessary in the textbook? So
Yes.
Christina will dive into that. That goes into our discussion right now. So stick around really quickly. But really start with what Christina was talking about with Med-surg. It's those four main things, starting with patho.
Yeah.
And then signs and symptoms, nursing assessment, nursing interventions, coming out of that, critically thinking out of that patho that you understand, or once you get a good understanding on patho, that is it. Now, touching just a little bit right now and probably more a little bit, how do I retain information, or how do I read and then I forget? A lot of times what's happening is that yes, nursing school has a lot of information that you need to know.
Yeah, a lot.
Don't make it harder on yourself by trying to memorize all the additional information you don't need to know, right?
Right.
So there's already a lot that you need to know. Don't make it harder on yourself by saying, you know what, I need to read the whole book and I need to memorize everything. Because your brain has a capacity. And yes, it's going to be hard to read things and you'll forget things if you're just trying to remember too many things, right? So you need to focused attention to what really matters. Now, that goes to the next question. How do I know what information is important? What really matters? Yeah. So I have this giant book. I shouldn't read all of it because I'll just forget everything. So what is important? What should we focus on so that we can have a better chance of retaining that information?
Yes. And
all right.
So thanks for the setup.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Nice setup.
You are
look,
so great.
I tried to read and write to review, but it takes so long to write down. All right, so that goes back to exactly, let's start with what to study first.
Yes.
What to study first.
So there's two principles that we use. We teach this inside our Nursing SS membership community. So I actually was just talking to a student yesterday about this who was having so much success with these two things. So make sure that what you are studying is focused on what your instructors talk about in class. So here's the thing, friends. I know that your instructors are going to tell you that you have to know everything about everything about everything. Like, that is what you're going to hear about nursing school. You have to know everything in the textbook in order to pass your exams. It's not true. And not only is it not true, if you try to do it that way, your exams are not going to go very well. You are really going to set yourself up for failure. It's just not how it works. You cannot try to memorize everything in the textbook and then expect to pass your exams. You have to focus your study time. Like we said at the beginning, you have to be strategic about how you are studying because none of us have all day, every day to study. You have a life too, right? Like, you still have to make dinner for your family.
We want you to have a life. We want you to be able to become the best nurse possible, to take care and love on your patients and take the best care of your patients when you are a nurse, but also to still have a life, to feel like you're having a life and to feel that you can do it.
Yes,
which
100%.
you can. You can definitely do it. You can definitely study what you need to know, study what you need to learn, and still have time left over to have time with the family or do what you like to do.
Yes.
As long as you're focused and you cut out all the quote unquote unnecessary things that you don't need to know for your exams and to become a really, really good nurse.
Yes. Nursing school comes with a reputation. And that reputation tends to be so negative. I don't agree with that. I refuse to accept that nursing school has to be studying 24/7, losing your sanity, losing your life, never seeing your spouse, gaining 15 pounds in your first term. Like, I refuse to accept that has to be the reality of nursing school. That is not how God wants you to live your life, my friend. It's just not. We're called to be joyful, right? And not destroy our life just for the sake of attaining a degree. That's not helpful for you. So we have to be strategic with how we study so that we can have a life in the process, right? Because it is 100% totally possible. You do not have to ruin your life in order to go through nursing school. You do not have to study 24/7 in order to pass nursing school. You can do it, but we have to study a different way, right? You have to be strategic. And so, like I said, when you are studying just everything in the textbook, it is not helpful for you because you cannot learn all of that in the time that your exam is, right? Your exams are every week? They tend to be every week, every other week if you're lucky. But seriously, like every single week, you do not have time to read 7 chapters in your textbook and learn everything in those 7 chapters in like 5 days. It is not realistic. So what you want to do, 2 things. Focus on studying the things that your instructors talk about in class. I know that there is a lot of just rumors and anxiety and stress out there that you have to know everything in the textbook, like we've been talking about. But what your instructors teach in class is what you are going to be tested on, because they either wrote your exam or they know what is on your exam. They know what is the most important thing for you to know. So that is what they're going to test on, okay? So you have to make sure that you are focusing your study time on the things that your instructors talk about in class. Now, going back to what we started this live with, there's 4 main things. Like if your instructor doesn't teach, if your instructor just gives you a PowerPoint or reads from the textbook, that happens a lot. So if that's the case for you, if your instructor doesn't actually teach, if you do a bunch of group work, if you do case studies and stuff, raise your hand if that's you actually. If you're in a class right now that your instructor doesn't actually teach, raise your hand, put up your favorite emoji for me. Let me know who you are. But if that is your situation, if that's where you're at in nursing school right now and your instructor isn't actually teaching during class, there's 4 things that you have to know. It's what we started this live with: pathophysiology, signs and symptoms, nursing assessment, and nursing interventions. Those are the 4 key things that you want to focus on. If you're like, think back to your exams. Pretty much all of you guys have taken an exam already, right? We're in like the middle of February. So, I mean, I'm sure all of you have taken an exam already if you're in nursing school right now. So think back to your exams. It's going to be those 4 main things that you are tested on. Okay, patho, signs and symptoms, nursing assessment, and nursing interventions. You are tested on what signs and symptoms you might see in a patient. You're tested on what nursing assessments you might do for that patient for that specific situation, what nursing interventions you would do for them, right? That's what your exam is going to test you on. A lot of hands going up. I'm teaching myself this semester. Yeah, it really, I mean, it's such a big thing. Especially, I think it really started in like 2020, I think, when nursing schools went totally virtual. We saw a huge increase of people just saying that their instructor isn't teaching. And like, and the schools never really went back to that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's all right.
That's why we're here.
Yes, that is quite all right.
So that's why we're here to help you with it, obviously. So what your instructor teaches in class, that is what you are going to want to focus on. And then if they don't, those 4 main categories, right, that we just went over.
And so some tips also for what your teacher talks about in class, or if that's not really clear, usually you have a syllabus or like an outline of the things that you're going to be learning. That can help too. That's something to even glance at before classes start, just to kind of get an idea of what you will be learning, and that syllabus kind of gets you in the right direction. But yeah, definitely focus on what your teacher's talking about. They know what they want to teach you and what they want you to learn. So that is what they're going to be teaching.
Yes.
So, but as Christina said, if not that, then definitely those 4 things that we talked about earlier in this live, for sure. Just be sure to focus on those four things.
We only have 2 days a week in class, and the rest is self-learning. It's awful. So that's really common. Yeah, Leanne, that is how nursing school typically is. You only have class like 1 or 2 days, like 2 days a week in class for the same class. Like that's actually, that's a lot. That's like double what we had, I think. We had like 1 class. We had multiple lectures a week, but they were all different classes. So
I just saw a comment. This is kind of off tangent, but I wanted to make sure to address this. Kathy, I think I saw your comment come through. You're actually part of the membership community, so yay.
Yay, hi, Kathy.
Hope you're enjoying it. You're saying that your care plans are actually due the same day.
Yeah.
And so just wondering what's the best way in the membership community to ask a question and get a response as quickly as possible. So you wrote in the community forum, which is great. We do check that as often as possible, and that's a great way to get some other nursing students' opinions in on it. Probably also post in the tutor forum as well. So in the community on the left-hand side, there's a link to the tutor forum, and go ahead and post that in there. Post what you currently have and some ideas about it, so that we can get back to you as soon as possible. So
oh, I see your comments, Kathy.
Yeah.
Did you post in the community? Because I was in there this morning. I actually didn't see your post in there.
Mm.
So yeah, submit a tutor form, just like Matthew said. That is really the fastest way.
Yeah.
So I mean, or post in the community, and that's probably the fastest way. I didn't see your post though, so I don't know how you posted in there. But yeah, definitely submit a tutor form. And you guys, actually, this is so cool. So we have several members on, so I'm going to mention it here just because it's for you guys. If you got my email, I think it was Monday, so like 2 days ago, I sent out an email. We are starting actually like tutor hours. So every Monday and Wednesday, our lead nurse, Nicole, she will be on a live tutoring call for an hour, 2 days a week. Bring your questions, any issues you have with studying for your exams or understanding something. That is what those tutor hours are for. So twice a week, you get 2 whole hours every week with our lead nurse, Nicole, to go over anything you need before your exams. It is absolutely fabulous. We are so excited to offer that to you. It's just completely insane. Like, we just want to up-level your entire nursing school experience. That is what we're here to do. This is not, like, we have not structured any of this in order for you to figure it out yourself, right? You don't want to have to figure out yourself in nursing school. I don't think that is what you should be doing in nursing school. You deserve better than that. Like, you deserve way better than that to be spending, what, 50 grand on a nursing school and then have to figure it out yourself? Come on. That is just, what a ripoff. It's ridiculous. So that's what we're here to do. We're here to teach it to you, to walk with you through nursing school, to hold your hand and help you pass. Like, we are here to make sure that you pass. So we have a lot of things coming for you inside the community. So we're really excited about that. Keep an eye on your emails, my friends.
Kathy, no problem. No worries about being off topic. I just want to make sure that we answer your questions, and I'm glad you can't wait for those tutor hours. So
they start next week.
Quickest way is just definitely send over a tutor form. I saw that your issue, or not issue, but something that you're learning through is what nursing diagnosis to choose, and that is great. That's a perfect question to ask. Shoot over a tutor form with maybe a couple of your ideas and why you think each one are good. Because again, that really helps with the critical thinking, and that even helps like writing it out. Okay, maybe it really doesn't make sense when I write it out and trying to explain it to someone else. It could help you that way without actually even getting an opinion, but definitely do that. Write out those things, and it will just help another way of your brain to kind of wrap around it. So
yes, 100%.
And then our nurses will get in touch with you and help you through that. So I think that's great.
And it's really nice when you can tell us like what you know so far. Then we're really good at like seeing where the gap is, and that really helps us, and it really helps you to know, okay, like here's what I know, here's the gap, and we can fill in that gap for you. Which is, it's just the our students just have epiphany after epiphany, talking to our nursing team, because we're just like, we have very good, we have a very defined way of teaching here, and the way that we teach is very different than a lot of the ways that you get in nursing school. And honestly, I just think it's better. Like, how we teach really helps our students understand it better and faster, which is what we're here to do, right? I mean, come on.
Yes. So, let's see. We discussed Med-surg, and also I want to make a shameless plug right here. Actually, the YouTube video that we posted on Monday is about how to study Med-surg.
That's right.
If you want to watch that and get a little bit more tips and a little bit more talk about what the right information is to study, etc., go ahead and check that out on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, hit the like bell, so you're notified whenever we go live. Whenever we go live, and whenever we post a video. We post a video every Monday, or at least once a week.
Yeah, we post a video every Monday, and then we go live twice a week. So
definitely do that.
4 tips, Nancy. The 4 tips were pathophysiology, signs and symptoms, nursing assessment, and nursing interventions. Nancy on Instagram. Oh, how much is it? How much is the community? It's $49 per month or $4.90 per year. And so we really, I mean, this is, like I said, it's not DIY, you guys. Like, we do not expect you to do it yourself. we literally hold your hand through everything. Like we said, we have our on-demand tutor form for you to submit questions anytime, like we were just talking to Kathy about. Next week, we are starting actual tutor hours. So you will get twice a week tutoring every single week for 2 hours, where you can just bring your questions and we'll answer them on a live video. I'm also, we didn't mention this yet on the live, we've talked about it before, but I am actually going to be doing more coaching now. Completely game-changing for you. If you want to change your life, get coached inside our community. Because, I mean, anything from anxiety to overwhelm to burnout to procrastination, I can help you beat all of those things. And
I saw a couple comments coming through about anxiety, so definitely that's something to look at.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you just are run down, like Matthew and I have been using the term, like in the sludge of nursing school, if you are just in the sludge of nursing school, that's what we're here to help you with. Like, we don't believe that this is how God wants us to live, right? This is not how God wants you to live. Nursing school, sure, is a great thing, but does God really want you to be run down, have such a huge, be so sleep deprived, right, that you can't even focus, super anxious, not having time with your children or your spouse? Like, these are not things that the Bible teaches. These are not things that God wants, right? So we want to help you overcome how nursing school really is structured right now. We are literally here to teach you everything you need to know, to help you pass your exams, to learn things faster, to pass your exams, and to be more confident in nursing school. That is what we do.
And that's a brand new thing that we're going to be starting soon. So the coaching, and someone was asking if it's going to be a personal one-on-one or what the setup on that
Nurse
is.
in Progress. Hi. So, okay. So, couple things. With the tutor hours, there's actually 3 really great ways that we help you, where you can get more one-on-one help inside our community. So the first one is the tutor form, where you can submit a form anytime, submit any questions to our nursing team, and then so it's like a form that you fill out, and then we answer them every day, Monday through Friday. So that's number 1. Number 2 is next week we're starting tutor hours. So that's what I was just talking about. 2 hours every week where you will get personalized tutoring. So Nicole will be on a live video, basically just like this, inside our community forum. So she'll just be on a live video. You can jump on anytime. You can jump on via video if you would like. She can pull you on video so you guys can talk in real time. You can post in the comments if you don't want to be on video. You can just be on audio if you want. It's totally up to you. And then ask your questions to Nicole. So it is like personal one-on-one. Anyone in our community is invited to those hours. So, she'll just be there at those times, and you can jump on whenever you want. And then the coaching is a little bit different than anything else we do. So the coaching is actually where I pull you on video, and we actually talk one-on-one in real time. I mean, it's like a group coaching call because there's other people watching. It's a live video, but I pull you on video and we talk in real time. And then I am going to ask you questions about how nursing school is going for you, what you think about certain things, how you're feeling about certain things, and we will really get to the bottom of where you are feeling stuck and why, and then we help you overcome it. So it is, to say that coaching is life-changing, like I have been coached for years and years, it's just, it's completely game-changing. It is going to be everything for you. I can't even tell you. I think I missed your other question, Nurse in Progress. Oh, there it is. I'm literally a month into my course, and they've set an assignment, and yet every lecture I speak to has a different take on it, and it's a joke. They literally are like, we aren't spoon feeding you. I don't know if I'm following that. Oh, like your instructor's just saying we're not going to spoon feed it. I know! I have heard that exact phrase too. Like, what is this? Literally, okay, Christina's soapbox. You guys are spending like tens of thousands of dollars to go to nursing school, and then you're met with schools that just say, you know what? You just teach yourself everything. I'm like, thanks. I probably didn't need to have to spend $50,000 in order to figure it out myself through a textbook. Christina will get off the soapbox on that one. It's just such a ripoff. Man, this is not what God wants.
That is a gap. That's what we are here because we know, again, we talked about this earlier on this live, stick to your why, hang on to your why. there's a lot of issues maybe or problems with nursing schools out there or how they teach and some things that can be frustrating, that is for sure. But hang on to your why. You are there because you want to be the best nurse possible. You want to help your patients. You want to love on your patients. You want to help your and get them better, or just help them. So stick to that why, and we are here to fill that gap and to make sure that you are heard and that you do get the help that you need to become the nurse that you know that you can be and are called to be. So that's what we are aiming to do here. So yes, our membership community has all the information that you need intellectually to pass nursing school, all the disorder information, all the 4 topics that we
I didn't even talk about that. Like, we have hundreds of step-by-step nursing lectures in there.
But in addition to that, we're also a community that wants to just support you in any way possible and tutor you with the tutor hours, or start really diving into the mindset stuff too, and just make sure that you're in the best state of mind too to tackle nursing school and to have a great time doing it too, because it doesn't need to be a chore, a sludge. It doesn't need to be full of anxiety, and it doesn't have to be something that you dread doing and that it's something just to get through. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, you are going to be so much more capable. You are going to be a completely different person when you graduate. If you take nursing school seriously and don't resist it, like if you don't resist changing in nursing school, like nursing school, this time in nursing school is going to pass anyway. You might as well go all in, right? You might as well just accept the challenge, go all in, and grow through the whole process. That is what we are going to help you to do. I mean, I just love that word sludge. You do not have to, like Matthew said, you don't have to dread nursing school. We are here to help you thrive. Eccentric, hello again. I've emailed my professors countless times and no one can set up a Zoom call or office hours. I mean, that's why we're here. That's what Matthew was saying. We're here to fill in that gap. So we have the tutor hours for you twice a week where you just jump on a call with us and we're going to answer your questions. You don't have to wait for your instructors to get back to you. Yep. New first-year nursing student, can you please advise me on study tips? I'm not smart. Stop that. Don't tell yourself you're not smart.
So mindset things first.
Don't tell yourself you're not smart. Stop it. Here's the thing, friends. If you are in nursing school, you have already done all of your prereqs. Like, you have done so well. Even just to get into nursing school, please recognize how big of an accomplishment that is. Most people don't do that, right? Most people don't get through microbiology and biology and statistics and all the other math courses and the biology courses and the everything that it takes to get into nursing school. Don't tell yourself you're not smart. You absolutely are. And you absolutely have what it takes. You are 100% capable of passing nursing school, my friend. We are here to help you make it happen.
So on that note, I do want to touch, because we did have a couple questions come in about studying, how much to study, study tips, and how to focus on studying as well. I did want to touch on that a little bit as well. So yeah, let's dive into how much to study and if we have any general study tips or focusing on studying.
Yes. So really, here's my benchmark. You want to have a benchmark of studying for 2 hours every week for every hour you're in class. So can you guys post in the chat how many hours you are in class per week? Like lecture. I'm talking lecture class, not clinical, not skills lab, lecture class. Typically, it's going to be like 2 or 3 hours per class. So let's say, like, if you're in a med-surg class, it's probably going to be like 3 hours a week. Someone earlier said that they have class 2 days a week, so maybe it's 6 hours, maybe it's 4 or something. Make sure that you are studying for 2 hours outside of class for every hour you're in class per week. So eccentric, 6, yes? Yep, so 6 hours. So if you're in lecture class for 6 hours per week, you want to study for that class for 12 hours. A week.
12 hours a week. We had someone got a little confused and they said, what, 12 hours a day? No. If you
a week.
If you have 6 hours of lecture a week, then study outside of class for 12 hours a week.
Yes, 100%. Mary Am, 5 hours a day, that is a lot. Are you, most often when I see someone posting like that certain amount of hours per day, most people are glumping together their lecture class, their skills lab, and their clinical. So I'm only talking lecture. When you are sitting at a desk watching a PowerPoint or something, or if it's an online class, however long it takes you to get through the
watching your teachers not teach.
Things.
How long is that?
Oh, yeah. 10 hours a week. So, yeah. Depending on so it's broken up, right? So oftentimes we'll have like a head to toe assessment class, like a assessment class. We'll have a pharmacology class. We'll have another fundamentals class. So depending on how your classes are broken up in what chunks, that's how much you want to study. So let's say you have a pharmacology class that's 3 hours a week. You would study for 6 hours a week for that pharmacology class. Does that make sense? And then if you have your Med-surg class is another 2 or 3 hours a week, you would study for 4 to 6 hours per week for just that class. Does that make sense? So all in all, it really doesn't end up being that much. If you write out how much you are studying right now, it's going to be peanuts. This is going to be peanuts compared to that. Mm-hmm. Most students are studying all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all on the weekends. They're studying late into the night. They're waking up early in the morning to study, write their papers, whatever. Like, it's too much. If you are studying much more than those 2 hours per week for every hour you're in class, you are probably overstudying and you are freaking yourself out, my friend. And they're doing something wrong. We can find out what it is, mm-hmm. Right?
Oh, yes. Does that include assignment time as well?
Okay, for this I'm gonna say that it's assignment time as well, but it can depend. It depends on how much busy work your school gives you. If your assignments are like they should be, your assignments should be related to what you're studying in some capacity. If they are, that's also your study time. Mm-hmm. Because when you're doing your assignments, like what Matthew said, your modules or the syllabus work or whatever they give you, like in our program, we had modules, like module questions, and then we had to do those module questions. But a lot of that is studying for the exam. Mm-hmm. Okay, so like answering those module questions, if that's your assignment, a lot of it is still studying for the exam. So that would count. But it depends on what kind of assignments they give you. Ideally, it would be like in tandem, like they would be synchronized. If that makes sense. Yep.
All right. Any general study tips beyond kind of what we were talking about with Med-surg specifically? Just any study tips or any just tips on focusing on studying? So I'll jump in with focusing on studying. We've talked about this in the past too. That really you want to set aside a space, make it your space, make it your nest or whatever you want to call it. Set aside an area that you know this is where I'm going to be studying, clear it from all distractions, probably leave your phone outside maybe even.
Yes.
And just make sure that that is your place, that you know this is where I'm studying, to get you in that mindset. Also, if it's in your house and you tell your family members that this is my study place, it'll help with the distractions that way too. If you're there, you are studying. So definitely have a dedicated place as free from distractions as possible. Mm-hmm. Depending on what distractions are, probably limiting music that you're listening to, because that does take up some kind of attention span. Unless like maybe it's just a little bit of classical music in the background or something. But other than that, it is actually surprising how much attention it takes, even though you don't realize it, for listening to music while doing it, even though a lot of people like doing that, but then you find yourself reading the same thing over and over again.
100%. Yeah.
Be efficient. Just say, okay, this is my study time. I'm going to be focused 100% on studying. Mm-hmm. That is definitely good. Make sure that you handle everything outside of study time as well as possible, or as efficiently as possible, like cooking meal plans, etc., etc. We have a lot of tips about
Pare those things down.
But basically, that's really it. Is when you're having trouble focusing, it's because there's other things that are in your mind. There's other things just taking up your attention. So whatever you can do to cut that out of your mind at the time being, that is the way to go.
100%. We were actually, Nicole and I were just talking about this on our community call on Monday night inside our community. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about like how much of a time suck and a brain suck all of those like extra stimuli is exactly what you were saying, is like the music and the podcast. Like Matthew and I, we really like listening to podcasts. But I noticed that if I'm with our children and I have a podcast playing, it's like so much stimuli for me. I notice like how much noise there is in the environment, and it kind of elevates my like tension, right? It elevates the stress, but almost unconsciously. Like if I hadn't actually noticed that, I don't know if I ever would have. Like it's just this such a subtle thing. And so actually Nicole and I, we gave our community this challenge this week to just notice the things in your house, notice the things in your life that are distracting you, that you're probably unconscious of right now. Like if your desk is super messy, if there's dishes overflowing in your sink, if your house is a disaster, or you have this going on or this going on or this going on, that's a lot of distractions, and no wonder you're having a hard time focusing on studying. I mean, no wonder, right? And so the more that we can pare those things down, those distractions, the outside stimuli, right? The more that we can cut down on all of that, the better off you're going to be with studying. I went off a huge like tangent on Monday about like the news and the things that you consume, right? We have to be very careful when you're going to nursing school. You have to be very careful about the external stimuli, the external things that you allow to come into your world. And so like for me, for Matthew too, like we just don't watch the news. We don't need that in our life every single day. Like that is not a helpful thing to bring into your brain, right? You don't need that negativity. So really go through this week. Like I really challenge you, go through this week and start to notice the things that do kind of elevate the tension for you. Like another one, we talked about this on Monday, is showing up late to your exams because you don't want to be with other students in your nursing program before you walk into an exam, because there's a lot of tension in that room. Like you just don't need that in your life.
And by when we mean late, it's not like an hour late. Don't do that.
Like right on time.
Right on time.
Slightly late, depending on
basically,
what your school requires.
the thing is that you want to prevent yourself from talking to other people.
Yes.
Right? So get in the zone.
Before your exams.
Get in the zone.
Yes.
Stay in the zone for your exam, because as soon as you start talking to other people, and it just ups the stress and ups the anxiety. So yeah,
you do not need that.
You don't need that. So focusing is really that is finding out the things to cut out and really what's important to focus on. What are your priorities, and prioritize focusing on studying when you're supposed to be studying.
Yes, 100%. Like, have you guys had that happen when you walk into an exam and it's like the tension, you could just cut it with a knife, right? Like it's just so elevated. Elsie and Taryn, I just want to say hi to you guys on YouTube. It is really this like unconscious thing that just happens all week, that's like distraction after distraction after distraction, and then we wonder why we can't focus on studying. So really makes a huge impact.
And then again, we've mentioned it a couple times, but focus on your why, and remember that as when you start becoming distracted or thinking that something else may be better.
So what does that mean? Like, what is your why?
Yeah,
what does that mean? They might not know what that means.
Yeah, definitely. So, why are you going through nursing school?
Why are you doing this?
Why do you want to become a nurse? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you studying? Not just to pass a class or not just to do the next test, but dig deeper on why are you there?
Yep. Why do you care?
Why do you care?
Why do you care to pass? Like, remember that. And whatever that reason is for you, remember it. Like, keep it in the back of your mind. Like, so many of us, like for me, right? I just wanted a better life for my children, right? Like that, for so many of us, is a huge driver for why we go to nursing school. We want a better life for our family, right? And I don't know, for me, like for our children to see me going through nursing school and being a nurse and helping people, like that's a big deal. That's a big deal for developing little brains to see, how mommy and daddy are serving the Lord in that capacity. Like, that is just so, so great. Like, that's our why, right? That's why we do this. We're serving the Lord. We are serving our family. So for us, that's our why. Mm-hmm. What's yours? Decide for yourself. Why are you doing this? And keep it in the back of your mind, because that will help drive you.
Yes, definitely. That is what's going to help drive you and push you past those kind of low points, because that happens.
There's going to be a lot. Happens.
Yeah. So but you'll need that way to push you through and to help you focus. Yes. So nursing school isn't forever. Mm-mm. Nursing school is just a season. Yes. We like talking in the seasons. So in this season, be focused on what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And next season, you can be focused on that.
Yes. My why is because I've been at my lowest, and I know the impact a nurse can have when they're struggling. I know the difference a good nurse versus a nurse who just does the bare minimum can make. 100%. Mm-hmm. I want to be the nurse who makes the impact. Yay! Great. That's exactly right. I love that, my friend. Nurse in progress. That is fabulous. I can really identify with that too, because I was a patient before I became a nurse. I actually never wanted to be a nurse until one day God said, "Hey, go to nursing school." And I'm like, okay. Yep, because I was a patient first, and I had the exact same experience you did. Really fantastic nurses and really not so great nurses. So it really, you have to really focus on that why.
Mm-hmm. Taryn, hello.
Hi, Taryn.
Is it better to cram or to study over time? Have you tried cramming for a test? Have you tried cramming for a test?
We all know the answer to that.
How did it go if when you cram for a test?
How does that work out for you? So here's the thing with cramming, Taryn. It might work out for you for that exam, but it's certainly not going to help you on your final. And it's certainly not going to help you on your ATI or your HESI exit exam if that's what you're doing. If that's what your program is. It certainly
won't help you become the nurse that you want to be.
Yep.
We were just talking about the whys and the bigger goal for nursing school. Yes, will cramming help you get through a test? Maybe. Mm-hmm. And that's a maybe even. But cramming doesn't help you move information from short term to long term. Yes. It doesn't help you with your critical thinking skills, which is vital for nursing school.
Yes.
It is much better to spend some time with it, mull it over, study a little bit, yes, so that your brain has a chance to move it into long-term memory.
Yep.
And that you can really critically think about things. Yes. So, yes, it's better to study over time.
Taryn, you're on YouTube, so go to our YouTube channel after this live, type in Nursing SOS Critical Thinking. Nursing SOS, you're looking for the DRC critical thinking model that we walked you through. So go to our YouTube channel, type in Nursing SOS DRC critical thinking model, or just DRC. You'll find the video there. We walk you through our DRC critical thinking model that actually teaches you how to critically think for your exams. So you're not going to want to cram. You want to study a little bit every day, and that is a fabulous way to do it. Mm-hmm. So yes.
Yeah.
Good deal.
On Instagram, how do you study for your final exam? It's kind of the same thing, actually. As long as you've been studying a little bit over time since the beginning, and moving that information to long-term memory as you're going and reviewing, then really that's all that studying for the final is just kind of bringing that up again, kind of reviewing, rehashing that, and dusting it off a little bit.
Yes.
But as long as you're doing that all throughout your semester or all throughout your term, then it makes studying for the final a whole lot easier.
Yes. And you guys, actually, if you're a member, we have several other videos coming for you soon, critical thinking videos, walking you through that DRC critical thinking model inside the community. So you're absolutely going to love it. So Kathy, you were just asking DRC. Yes, we have a YouTube video on it. We have a video for the membership community coming soon. And the Nurse in Progress, how do I get into the membership? You're on Instagram. So go to the link in my bio and click on the wait list to join the Nursing SOS membership community. It's closed right now, but it opens on Sunday.
It's opening soon.
So you have to get on that wait list. I will email you right when it opens. You are just going to thrive in nursing school, my friend. That is what we are here to help you do. So yeah, it's nursingschoolofsuccess.com/join. Matthew put the link down on YouTube, but if you're on Instagram, the link's just in my bio. So absolutely, it's going to change everything for you. So seriously, don't miss out. Enrollment only opens a couple times a year. And we do that because we focus so heavily on our current members. Like, I don't want to be splitting our time so much between like trying to get new students in versus helping our members, because that's a lot of work to split my time, right? Like, we spent so much of this live talking about distractions, right? I don't want to do that. So we focus so much time and energy and effort on our members to help you guys pass. So once you're in, we're here for you. Like, we're here to hold your hand through nursing school. It's exactly what we do. So yes.
You're in the UK, relevant to UK nurses.
Nursing content is nursing content. We have nurses in Europe inside our community. We have nurses from Australia and Canada and China, all over the world, which is so cool.
It is really cool. But yeah, nursing content is nursing content, unless maybe you're on a foreign planet with a different physiology,
where like heart failure works
if you
a different
are,
way,
please let us know, because that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
If you live on a different planet in the universe,
nursing content is nursing content.
Yes.
So definitely.
Yeah, it'll help you.
Elise just had a quick question on about studying.
Hi, Elsie.
Elsie, sorry.
After spending some time studying for my exam, how much time do I spend reviewing? That is a fabulous question. So when you are ready to take your exam, even after you've taken your exam, you do periodically, what I tell our members is once a week, you at least want to go through and just read your stuff. You know, read your lecture notes, read your whatever. Just go through and like skim them, right? And you will be really surprised at just like how much you can retain. You're not going for like studying at that point, but you just want to refresh, right? Once a week, once every 2 weeks. If you can't do it once a week, that's fine. But just try to review regularly. That's really the point. You just don't want to lose that information before your final or before your exit HESI or whatever.
Yeah, so that's really the name of the game, is reviewing as you go throughout your term, little bit at a time, like we said, and just kind of pick away at it and review it over and over again, just so that it's in your brain, it's fresh in your brain throughout the whole term.
Yes, 100%. All right, friends, we will be back with you on Monday.
Monday it is.
Monday morning, same time, same place, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on Monday. So we're here every Monday and Wednesday. Same time, same place. Instagram, YouTube. All right, friends.
See you guys
Bring
later.
Bring your questions
Take care.
for us on Monday.
Oh, and if you join, because, again, the membership is joining on Sunday, if you join when it opens up, let us know on Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you in.
Okay.
Yay!
See you
right.
guys.
Take care. Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Instagram. Bye.